With the recent release of Kaiba, All Might, and Biscuit, we got our first DLC stage in Jump Force, the World Tournament Arena. We also know that the Valley of the End from Naruto is going to be coming with the next DLC pack. And if we go off the files that are inside the game, we also know that Whole Cake Island is on the way, likely to be released with the final characters in November. I initially thought that all of these stages would just be recreations of their iconic locations, but now that we have our first stage, the World Tournament Arena stage, we can start looking at a potential pattern being made with these stages. What exactly am I referring to? Well, World Tournament Arena is not just a recreation of the iconic arena. It's fused with the real-life colosseum. Jump Force, of course, does this with a lot of their stages, but I suppose I always just assumed that this wouldn't be the case for the DLC stages. But so far, it has been. So I thought it would be fun to speculate about real-world landmarks or locations that could be a part of the Valley of the End stage and Whole Cake Island. And this video is not just for me. I want you to be involved in this conversation as well. For the Valley of the End, even though I personally wouldn't want this to be the case, after hearing Nini Spangle bring this up, I have to agree with him. He mentioned that the Madara and Hashirama statues are already a part of San Francisco, so it's possible that they could be replaced with a real-world location or statue or monument. And as soon as he brought that up, my initial thought was Mount Rushmore, though I'm not sure if you can technically do that in a video game without some type of permission, as it depicts the likeness of a real-world person. Well, not a single real-life person. It depicts George Washington, Jefferson, Roosevelt, and Lincoln. You would be using their likeness, which I believe is a legal gray area there that I don't know how it would work out. I'm not a law professor. I don't know these things, but I don't think they could just simply add Mount Rushmore to the game. I also thought about Stonehenge, but Stonehenge is obviously much smaller than what would be required to fill up that space. Perhaps the entire waterfall could be instead blocked up by a large pyramid or obelisk or something like that from Egypt. As far as I know, we don't have anything from Egypt on any stage. As for Whole Cake Island, I'm honestly completely lost. Perhaps there could be something of note in the ocean, but the only thing I could think of was the Titanic, which is definitely trademarked, so probably not that. I brought it up with Nini, and he mentioned that perhaps there could be a castle that could replace something like this, but I don't think they would go in that direction, because I think ideally you would want to keep the aesthetic of Whole Cake Island intact as much as possible, because of course it's a very unique environment, and considering the pirate aesthetic of One Piece, I think an iconic real-world boat or ship or even just a dock out in the ocean, something like that, I think would be ideal. Perhaps they could even take a real-world location and give it the Whole Cake Island aesthetic, kind of the reverse of what we were just talking about with the castle. But I'll be honest, my real-world geography and history are both awful. So I'm hoping you guys are able to bring something better to the table here as far as speculation and suggestions go. But I really like the idea of Valley of the End having either some pyramids or something, or Mount Rushmore, which again, I don't think they can technically have. And I'm really curious to see what they do with Whole Cake Island in general, because I think it has the chance to be the best looking stage in the game, which says something, because if you can say anything about Jump Force, it's that the stages are incredibly beautiful, other than training mode. Training mode sucks. With that out of the way, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. If you could contribute to this discussion by leaving a comment down below, I'd very much appreciate it. My name is Bilbsy. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.